Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for October 3rd, or the week of October 3rd, I should say. We're going to jump in here and look at what's going on for you, just in your general energies in this first row here. Next, we're going to look at what you don't see coming in this second row here. And by the way, just pretty much everyone has had either the Ten of Swords or the Tower. And here you go, right here. I would say that basically everyone now has had the Tower in the reading, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Next, we're going to look at any messages from your future self in this row here. We're also going to clarify this reading as we go, but I'm going to double clarify like I did last week. And at the end, I'm going to answer one question. I'm going to give you time to think of your question, and I'm going to answer as if I know what your question is, even though I don't. But every single person has had the Tower. To me, we could be seeing a Tower moment happen globally, like in the world, like we did the last time this happened, right? When I predicted like Boris Johnson stepping down, right? Or, before the Queen, right? Dying, we kept getting the death card, and I said something about the King being dead in one of those readings. So, like I said, is this really me predicting it? Or is it the fact that just we can see in the astrology that basically that until 33 or something like that, we're probably going to see a lot of people stepping down. We're probably going to see a lot of global Tower moments and things like that. I think it is what it is, right? You start off here in your current general energies with this leg up card. And this card is about you being lifted up. Again, other than that middle row, this reading looks pretty good. Even your last row, you have the Ten of Pentacles. So you have some really good stuff showing up here. And, that Tower could just represent just a kind of like a drastic change in your life. And, I think, if I'm being honest, I just think everybody's going through this. You have this Into Me I See card. I see a lot of people, again, between now and 2033. It's like you could have had like a job for 20 years by that point, and then you could say to yourself, like, actually, I've always wanted to, like, do something else with my life, like have a worm farm, as I always joke about, right? Because that's what I feel inside, that Into Me I See card, intimacy, basically. That's what I feel on the inside, so that's what I should do. Again, we can skip the line. One of my favorite books by James Altucher called Skip the Line. I feel like we can skip the between now and 2033. So, if you want to skip ahead, I would just do whatever your heart is telling you to do right now. I've been talking about this for like literally, I don't know, since 2017. Because it's where it's at. I'm telling you, right now. There will be like a lot more success for you. You'll be being lifted up with this card. This card adds up to a 7, and 7s represent internal fears that don't exist. So definitely could be some fears, which I see in the astrology as well, but overcoming those things is going to be a good thing. You have the Page of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Two of Wands here. Again, Two of Wands is like, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Matrix. I watch it like every single week, right? Neo is like, the main character. If you haven't seen the movie, you should watch it, but he's in a car and he's about to walk away from being part of the Matrix, and Trinity, the one of the other main characters in the movie, says, what's down that road, Neo. And I feel like that right here, where it's like you could continue doing something that you've been doing for a very long time, but I feel like what that leads to, what that road leads to. So again, it's going to be different than all of you, but just looking at the reading, it's like going from the Two of Wands Death card to the Ten of Pentacles. It's like a new opportunity, or letting go of the road that you've been on for a very long time and going on a new adventure. Page of Wands is really where it's going to be at. Because again, on that Two of Wands, I just feel I'm just getting more of that. What's down this road, Neo. I feel like you are Neo, if that's not clear, Libra. But I feel like what something has in store for you already. So, are you brave enough to embrace the new is what I feel like this Page of Wands is really saying. You have the King of Cups here. Could be love, but I don't know. This reading to me is much, much deeper than just love. Could it be part of it? Sure, but I feel like you're going on a new adventure like everybody else, but for you, it's to do something that you really want to do. And even at the end, you have this Maiden card. It says a new relationship blossoms, but that might not be a relationship. It might be your relationship to something, like your career or your business or your job. And you're definitely being lifted up at this time. I really feel the universe is kind of encouraging you to dive deep into your emotions with the King of Cups. He is like, the card of deep emotions and how you feel about things. Let's see. With the Page of Wands, you have the Five of Pentacles. Again, the best way I could describe your reading is it's like you know what something leads to. So if you're thinking about doing something again, if you're thinking about revisiting someone, if you, going back to the past or, whatever it is, I feel like what that road leads to. And you're kind of like, it's kind of funny because using the Matrix reference, because he's in a car, but it's like he could, if he got out of the car, he would be walking home in the rain, in that movie. And that scene is popping into my head in your reading. It's like slow in the rain or in a car speeding forward, is kind of how I get this. This is a very weird message, I know, but I hope it makes sense. With the King of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is about taking control of your destiny. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card of your personal vision for your life. So when I say your destiny, it's basically what you see as your best version of your life, or kind of like the best version of yourself. And I feel a lot of you either are wanting to work towards that, or you are currently doing things to kind of turn your life around, clearly. With the Two of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords, feeling stuck again. Again, don't stay stuck to the past. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction when you could easily set yourself free here, Libra. So I would definitely set yourself free towards something new. Next, you have this Into Me I See card. So again, I feel you need to tap into yourself, maybe for the next couple of weeks here. Really, probably for like the next 3 months, it might be a good time to like meditate, look for some inner answers, journal, all those activities. Again, this is in the area of what you don't see coming, but this could be really just something that provides a lot of answers. And what you don't see coming is the Tower, really. You have the Ten of Swords, the Death card, and the Tower. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is clearly some sort of significant ending or a drastic change in your life. And I feel like it's probably going to lead to a good thing for some of you. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. For some of you, it'll probably be fine. For others, maybe it'll be uncomfortable, but clearly it's leading to the Ten of Pentacles. I always say that the Tower is not like a bad card. There is no such thing as like good or bad in the tarot. Tarot is loose guidance at best, as I always say. But on top of that, it's like the Tower is necessary. It's part of the Fool's journey. And it's also part of being grounded in reality. These people are falling out of the Tower because there's some sort of uncomfortable reality that they've been trying to protect themselves from. And for you, I kind of feel that maybe what you're being enlightened to this week and what is going to lead to a very quick change and probably a big transformation is you being honest with what your heart wants or what your soul is calling you to do at this time, Libra. So I feel like you are making some very big changes. Again, there's really no reason to drag this out here. So here's the Ten of Swords. And again, Ten of Swords can be, I just feel like you're at the end of something. I actually, I feel there's more of a challenge in your reading on that Tower than there is on the Ten of Swords. Because I feel like the Ten of Swords is saying you're done with something. You have two tens. Two tens is definitely an ending in the tarot. And so to me, that's saying like you're ready for something new. I feel like you're ready for a new life. You're ready for drastic changes. Here you go. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Ace of Wands. Again, move towards your inspirations. This is the hardest part about being alive right now is that, we have to really kind of maybe, not be afraid to be criticized, not be afraid to be wrong. The Ace of Wands is just your inspiration. If you tell your, parents that you feel inspired to move to Portugal so you can raise goats or something like that, they're probably going to be like, you haven't had a job for 7 years or something like that, right? They might tell you something where they're like, how the hell are you going to pull that off, right? And it's our job to just do it anyway. So, as I've been saying for like the past 2 years, feel the fear and do it anyway, right, Libra? Because you are being inspired to do this for a reason. Ten of Pentacles. It is your you cannot make this stuff up. With the Death card, you have the Ten of Pentacles. And I literally said Ten of Pentacles as I was pulling this card. So, Ten of Pentacles twice in your reading, freaking amazing. Number one. Number two, I feel there is like a long-term change coming in here for you. With the Tower, you have the Five of Swords. How funny is that I said literally on the Tower that I felt like that was a challenge of the reading. It's probably, it's probably because it's a risk. Five of Swords is walking away. It can be trying to win at all costs, but the Five of Swords is risk. It represents taking a risk or needing to take a risk. And again, the risk could be culture shock. Maybe some of you are moving to another country to start a business or, doing something else. Or maybe you're just starting a business where you are. Or maybe you're leaving a relationship and it's the right thing to do even though you don't want to be alone. Or whatever it is that you're doing. I get this very strong sense of a need for bravery for whatever reason, probably because that Page of Wands there. It's like the Page of Wands, he's like at the beginning of being brave. He's not the King of Wands yet. So you're clearly on this like new adventure to becoming brave. This is a deep reading here, Libra. At the end here, Again, for messages from your future self, you have a new relationship blossoms. If there is love coming in for you, 10 of Pentacles, amazing. 10 of Pentacles is everything you want in your life. It is like a really deep, positive connection. So I feel there could be a good connection coming in for you if you want it. Probably something that'll lead to marriage or, permanent connection. The 10 of Pentacles is like building or leaving a legacy. So if it's love, it's you getting into a relationship with a person who wants something permanent, who wants something that lasts forever. So a lot of you could be discovering that. You have the 10 of Pentacles, the 4 Swords, and the High Priestess. Again, the 10 of Pentacles is kind of something that you're building forever. A lot of people are kind of working on this right now, and a lot of people say that I say this all the time, that that we're building something long-term, but I don't know, Uranus and Taurus literally says, like, how can you create more freedom in your life? Getting healthy, well, that's one way. Building a business or building something long-term, something that's going to last and be stable and support not only you, but like your future generations. I feel that, again, if you want to skip the line, if you want to skip ahead, like I said, I would start this now. I think that what we're going to see is that there's going to be like a reality check maybe in like 2025, right, for a lot of people. And it's like the people who skip the line and start working on this now are going to be however many years. I don't even know what year it is right now, 2022, right? Something like that. So you'll be like 2-3 years ahead of everybody else if you get started now, right? Because most people are just going to be, that don't pay attention, are just going to be walking around like chickens with their heads cut off until the last minute. You have the 4 Swords here. So recovery, again, I wouldn't sleep on this. Whatever it is that you're thinking about building, I would get going now. You might be saying, Chris, I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. I don't have the, whatever I need to get started on my dream. Well, High Priestess. High Priestess is a card of potential. She only represents potential as well. She basically says you can have whatever you want. There's no roof over her head, and that's on purpose on the High Priestess. It's meant to represent the fact that there are no limits to what she can create, but she has to get started, right? The trick with the High Priestess is, like, if let's say you want to start some sort of crazy business, it's like you have to start small. You have to start somewhere with the High Priestess. Once you get started on the potential, the universe moves out of the way. And that's the whole point of the High Priestess is, in some ways, it is an energy of diving into the mystery. You have to see what is behind her. She has this tapestry behind her. There's dates and pomegranates all over this tapestry. They both represent abundance and also kind of like, they represent a lot of things, but the dates also kind of represent support because, there's something that can support you as in your, health, in the tarot. So it's something that can kind of support you for a long time. And, I definitely feel that's what you're building. With the 10 of Pentacles, here you go. You have the Ace of Pentacles. It's going to require work. There's a mountain right here. Mountains in the tarot represent achievements. So I would start putting in the work here to grow whatever this is, whatever your ideas are here, Libra. With the 4 Swords, you. Showing up here, Justice. So I feel this is putting you in a position of strength and power. With the High Priestess, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be a Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you if you want love at this time. But, here's the thing. You have the Ace of Pentacles, a seed. He basically needs to start planting seeds in front of this river, in front of him here, because they will grow, even though he's in the desert. So, again, just like I was saying, maybe you don't think you have the resources. That's not the deck I wanted. But if you start putting in the work, the resources will appear, is what this says. So let's see here. We're going to clarify now with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. With the 5 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, you have this intuition card. You have the High Priestess in the same diagonal as well, going this direction. So I would trust your intuition at this time. I feel like you're kind of being guided more towards like your intuition and inspiration with the Ace of Wands. To me, they can be very similar. We can feel inspired to do something, and then our intuition can kind of like lead us to other inspirations as well. Like, hey, go read this book, or, go watch this video about whatever you're feeling inspired to do. Like, I would trust both. With the King of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, you have this adaptability card here. A lot of people have been getting this adaptability card, actually, and I think it's a great way to be right now. If one way doesn't work, if you're trying something like starting a business or trying to get into a relationship, if something isn't working, it just says try something else. And that's kind of what I'm getting here off of this card. Just try multiple different things. With the 2 of Wands and the 8 of Swords, you have this Devotion card. Again, a lot of people getting this as well. Really good. This is really good marriage material, Ro. Going this way. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a person who is like devoted to you, someone who wants to be with you. And again, I've said this a lot, that the end of this year, really good for love. Well, I would say that like the end of this year, entering into next year, really good for love, getting into something more serious. And again, a lot of people have been getting this, so it could be a really good time for love. With the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Wands, you have this health card. With the Ten of Swords, I would definitely watch your health. I am not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice, but I would definitely do your best to stay healthy. Again, this came up quite a bit in the September readings, that we should just probably watch our health or stay healthy. I don't know. We're entering into winter. Take care of yourself is all I will say on that card. With the Death card and the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Discovery card. It is crazy to me just like how similar the readings have been. And it's just like I just haven't ever had a time like this where readings are so similar between sign to sign to sign, but pretty much everyone has been getting this discovery energy. So I would say if you're like looking into anything new or like wanting to go on any new adventures, I would just look into it. Sometimes, again, I think we just have to like accept the adventure, especially with that Knight of Cups and the High Priestess. It's like saying if you just accept the adventure of wanting to build like $1 billion company, which you might think is impossible, and if you just get started, the universe will move out of the way. So we have to get started to be great, basically. With the Tower and the Five of Swords, you have this extremism card. Again, we could see something with extremism, extremists, anything like that in the news, in the media, in the world, all that other stuff. I don't like putting that stuff out there, but again, every single sign has had the Tower. Every single sign has had this card as well. So again, I don't, maybe you want to start sending good vibes out into the world so that this doesn't happen. I'm not saying anything is going to happen, but again, I would keep your head on straight. The energy is extreme. I've talked about this since 2017. As far as I'm concerned, Neptune and Pisces is, which we'll have till 2025, is extremist energy. And then, not that it necessarily gets any better when Neptune moves into Aries after, because, that's basically kind of, the return to gurus, right? So I would definitely, starting now, I would be very careful of following gurus and kind of putting their word on a pedestal, right? Including me. That's why I always say don't listen to me, right? Because, I feel that's like a danger of the energy that we could be moving into. But what I would say here is I would just be careful. Again, nothing is the truth under Neptune and Pisces. So, and that goes both ways. And most people are very confused by that. But it doesn't matter like what angle you're looking at something from. It might be an illusion. So I always tell people, try not to like panic, especially under Neptune and Pisces with these Tower cards constantly coming up, because we might not be seeing the whole truth. We might not, or, things might be less than we think, or who knows? Like I said, it's all an illusion is what I will say there. With the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, you have this concentration card. So I would concentrate on creating your Ten of Pentacles. Again, if we're being distracted by something extreme that is going on, it doesn't even have to be a bad thing. That's the thing, is like, there could be something that is just kind of stealing our attention. I would be careful of anything that steals your attention, and I would focus on creating your Ten of Pentacles. That doesn't have to be money, by the way. It could be like success, abundance, stability, pretty much all those things. And that's what I would focus on. Could also be great health as well. And it's probably multiple things. Again, Ten of Pentacles is everything you want in your life. And that's what I would focus on here, because, I would just be careful of, your energy being drawn to something that doesn't matter. With the Four Swords and the Justice card, you have the Fulfillment card. So definitely fulfillment coming in for you. I feel there's definitely an improvement in your finances. Ten of Pentacles twice. This is going to be based off of some sort of adventure, like I said. So I do feel like you're going to have to like go somewhere or go on an adventure, do something new. And finally, with the High Priestess and the Knight of Cups, you have this restlessness card. I would be careful of feeling restless. Again, sometimes something happens in the world and we feel like, I got to do something about this right now. But it's like, can you do something about it right now? I'm not saying you can't, but sometimes I think we just, kind of jump to conclusions about things in life, and then we get into this rushing energy. This whole entire reading says it would be better probably to kind of like sit in energy and make sure you're making good decisions. It's like sometimes I think, one of the worst places we can be, like if you want to make money, for example, and if you're desperate for money, then you're not going to be looking at it maybe the right way. And it's like a hard thing to slow down, right? Especially if you have like bills to pay or something like that. It's a hard thing to slow down and say like, okay, I can't rush and make a bad decision right now with money, even though I need to, right? So I kind of get that energy here. It might not be about money, but it looks like money is good anyway. Kind of a weird reading, Libra, but I also really like this because I feel like you're making like good heart-based decisions with that Into Me I See card. So love it. We're going to pull 3 cards now, and I'm gonna answer your question. So think of one question if you want, and I'm gonna answer it as if I know what your question is. It's like a personal-ish reading. So these are the 3 cards. Feel free to pause this reading if you need to think of your questions, and we're gonna answer it right now. You have the 7 of Swords, the Knight of Cups, and the 7 of Pentacles here. Some of you could be asking about love. This to me is new love. I feel like you're changing direction in love. I'll show you over here. But you have that 7 of Swords, so you could have been dealing with a liar, cheater, stealer. 7 of Pentacles is like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Which I feel like you always get this card, Libra. So, you know, you could be looking at a new love opportunity with that Knight of Cups. He's kind of like offering, this person here, like a cup of love. And I feel like you're saying like, is there more for me to work on? Should I accept this into my life or not? And I would say, I don't know, it's up to you. Is it worth it? I kind of feel what this is saying is that, again, you're building your 10 of Pentacles. So some of you might be waiting to accept love into your life until you have a little bit more stability or something like that. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that, with this energy, but you know, that's kind of what I get here. For others, I feel that this is a new job coming in for you. So if you're asking about a new job, this to me looks like you getting accepted or getting an offer accepted. Those words are also kind of popping into my head here. But that's that, Libra. I hope that reading makes sense because it was a little bit kind of like confusing. But at the same time, I feel that you have to listen to yourself. There's something you want to do, and maybe people in your life are saying don't do it, or maybe there are things going on in the world that are distracting, but I kind of feel like you have to do it anyway, is what I would say. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.